Hello, good people. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And if you're new here on this channel, we share about opportunities in education, scholarships, and personal growth. I started this channel to just share the little information that I find out there. And when I started seeing other things that were not being discussed that much in our community. So I realized that I wanted to share about scholarships, about, my PhD journey and all of that. But I realized that it doesn't start when you're looking for a scholarship. These things are built from the ground going up. So I decided to really address or talk about these topics that are the basis of having one to, apply a scholarship later on. So one of the things that I talked about in my last videos were the different exam systems that we can employ in Zimbabwe or in other countries. I know each country has its own regional exam system, and then Cambridge and International Baccalaureates are all over the place. They are internationally available. They are international schools that offer them in each and every country. So when I was talking about ZimSec, I was trying to tailor make it for the Zimbabwean community, but you can actually, look at these systems in the context of the country that you are in. So after talking about, those education systems or examination systems, I realized, we really need to discuss the personal assessment of subjects, or combinations, or the different things that our kids want to employ. We need to talk about the personal assessment of the subjects that they are doing, because I realized back home we push the narrative of having the child doing a lot of things all at once and then having to narrow down when they are at A level. But what I've seen, as I am moving around and growing up, I've seen that in other countries they actually very much supportive of students specializing. So kids start even specializing at a younger age, and then by the time they reach levels like A level, or when they want to do some apprenticeships and all, they would have built the knowledge that they want for the certain profession which they want to choose. So I was like, okay, maybe we need to really discuss, as parents, we need to plan, as, family members, we need to really plan these things earlier on before we start wondering, oh, my child got these results, what can they do? We can actually start shaping the professions that they want as when they are still young. I am not forgetting that, kids are supposed to have their, free will, having to explore. I'm not saying do not let your kids explore different things and just narrow them to one profession. What I'm saying is, if you know the strengths of your child, build them up when there's still time. So today we are going to really talk about, your child is past their grade 7 and now they are in O level. You do not have to wait until they are, they've passed their Form 4 or also to really start thinking about what they want to do. So when kids are in Form 1, yes, they are, exposed to different things, right? But when they are getting into Form 2, start paying attention to what your kid is really doing well in. Start paying attention to their interests. We really need to start these career guidance talks when our kids are young, so that when they go to school, when they sit down in class, they really know that at the end of the day, they need to be able to choose what they want to do, or they need to be able to assess, what is it that they are good in. So what am I saying? I'm saying, let's not wait for results. Let's not wait until it's too late. Let's start these things as kids are young. Let's start, exposing them. There are a lot of programs, that do career guidance either online or, on site, physically. Research, because this career guidance thing that doesn't really start when someone is, that old. it becomes difficult. Sometimes we'll be trying to pull things that we know that, if we would have planned earlier, if we would have done things earlier, these things could be avoided. So my point is, sit down with your kids, the Form 1s, the Form 2s, sit down, speak in the language that they understand. I'm not saying start throwing in some jargons about the different professions that are there. Go down to their level and speak the language that they understand. My child, Manangu, you know what? If you want to do this thing, if you want to do engineering, if you want to do, health sciences, if you want to do medicine, if you want to do agriculture, if you want to do, accounting, if you want to do, plumbing, if you want to venture into journalism, if you want to venture into, art, these are the things that you have to put in place. So have those discussions with them in the language that they understand. Kuti vaskana or vakomana, or if you want to be an artist, if you want to be someone who is immersed into art, you have to have these skills and these skills. This is very important because mwana paanogara muclass akunzwa zviri kutaurwa nateacher achiona kuti inini accounts inini ndiri shasha, I am very, very good in accounts. I don't even need to put an effort or what. Anotanga kunzwisisa kuti this is the thing that I should pursue. Because these young kids, they have the free will to do everything that they want, but we all need guidance at some point. In life, we all need guidance because experience is the best teacher. So when we the experienced, like when you as a parent who has experience, because as a parent, if you reflect on what you have done with your education life, you can actually, reflect and say, if I was given this opportunity, or if I had done A, B, C, D, I would have, been somewhere, or I would have excelled much more better than I am right now. Or, you're just reflecting and you're like, what my mother did, vachindi pusha kuti ita maths, stick to accounts, stick to business studies. This has really led me to being a flourished accountant or being a flourished businessman or something like that. Those reflections and those experiences anodiwa kuudzwa vana when they are still young so that they make the right choices when it comes to the subjects that they are choosing. Form 1, panopedza mwana Form 1 in that term. If you can, look at their report, talk to them about, where they are finding difficult. It's not, yes, I know, Kuti, in our environment or in our community, we are always pushing, you need to bring A's, you need to do this. We are always instilling, but you're not doing, a lot of things. But it is important that we sit down in a calmer way and talk to our kids. You came with U's in these subjects and, C's or A's in these subjects. What are your plans? What really interests you? And sometimes your child might respond, Daddy, I like agriculture, but when we are doing agriculture, I know we have a lot of topics. We have agri-economics, we have crop science, we have animal science, we have agriculture engineering, but really when I'm really sitting down in agriculture and we are doing things about agriculture engineering, or when we are doing things about, animal science or crop science, I really enjoy it, Daddy, and I don't have to put much effort because once we are sitting in class and the teacher is, teaching us about these subjects, I'm really immersed and really, really interested. And then you're starting to say, okay, so really, my child really wants agriculture. So when you go for Form 3 and Form 4, you ensure that your child has biology in their class. They have that agriculture. They have, the geography. They need to have, attention to the subjects that they would probably carry on with at A level, right? And that combination, Panons in my universities, we are advertising our programs. We need 2 A-level passes. That means if you leave your child, and then they take a combination that probably doesn't make sense. In animal science, they need 2 A-level passes. either biology and agriculture, and then an extra one of your choice. So if your child then takes a combination which doesn't make sense, vakasvika ku-animal science, they need 2 A-level passes. Pamwe yane biology ne business studies. I'm just giving an example. Then they are not fitting in. Or maybe ku engineering, or maybe ku radiology, they need, physics and another subject. The combination is not making sense. So each time the reviewers of the application are looking at my results saying they are really wondering, the requirements are 2 A-level qualifications, but uyane one hana rimwe mangwana wo pamara kufita kuma commercials pamara kufita kuma arts. I don't really know. At the end of the day, the child ends up getting rejections for admission. That's one thing. So what I'm trying to say is, let's build, the momentum from Form 1, Form 2. Let's start doing some assessments. Assess kuti mwana wako zvaari kuita zvaari good in ndezvipi, zvaasiri good in ndezvipi. In the first world countries, if they identify that their child is good in sports, they nurture that. And whilst they are nurturing that, they are registering probably into different clubs that, that train people into, soccer or athletics. But it doesn't mean that they neglect the education part, because most academies in the first world need you to be excelling in sports and also excelling in your courses, your curriculum, your education curriculum. So I know tinema problems kusime kuti ya mwana atadaita bhora zvino yanga bhangoita bhora chete. What I'm trying to say is, in as much as they like soccer, sit down with them. Mwanangu, yes, bhora rakanaka, yes, I'll support you in bhora, but look at what you need kuti uzova a successful, a person out there. Ita bhora rako, I will support you if I will take you to clubs that, vanita soccer or some, there are a lot of, of resources that your child can capitalize on when it comes to the dream that they want to do. Ita jojo, but we need some passes. Kumba, you sit down with them, they start to understand. But if we build the wall, mommy, I like soccer, and then you are already dismissive. Listen to them, be receptive to what they are saying, and then sit down and make them understand. No, I'm not really against you doing soccer, but you have to have your education done. What do we need? I need you to have good passes. If you have good passes, then we can also look at, the other things that you're looking at. Let's have those healthy conversations with our kids. Let's not wait until third term year Form 3. Ndopa unotanga kupepuka sembereki kuti, what, I need to look at the subjects that my child is doing. You end up posting in the groups asking, what should my child do? It's not bad to post, but you could really ask those questions earlier. Guys, Mwanangu is looking at interest in these subjects. Saka is Form 2, but you know what? Oito major on which subjects, and then you discuss those things with people. You research as a parent. Google should be your friend. Some of the charges that you're being charged by agents to do these things for you, you have data. Everyone has internet access these days. Sit down instead of scrolling. Start to research. Munadaita lab science, anombodiwa chi. Munadaita plumbing, anombodiwa chi. Munadaita electrical engineering, anombodiwa chi. Munu who wants to be a lawyer, anofanombo major into chi. And whilst you're doing that, whilst you're researching, I also want to encourage you not to really kubvanyanyoteerera zvinotaurwa nevanhu on social media. Kuti hey Nine, I did this degree, I am sitting down and nothing is coming out. Trust me, there are others whom that person did that degree nevamwe vake who are already working, who are already, enjoying basa iroro. So do not limit yourself by asking, mazwano, chakata iskuita mazwano chakata chiskuita. As I always say on this channel, where God guides, He provides. If you really know kuti your child is standing in God's will, and if you really know kuti, you know what, I'm going to let my child, flourish, par kudai papo, it will really work out, because there is no need to have grumpy adults out there because they were forced into medicine with their parents when they did not want medicine. When we go to ask for their services, they are always grumpy because they are not enjoying what they are doing. Life is too short to be doing a profession that you don't really like. Underscore Taura this statement out there to say to disregard mamma choices are not so to and pick as all I'm saying is let the kids do what those things that they are passionate about, and and flourish in that context. So I hope I hope what I've said has really sparked a conversation into your homes, Kuti. What should we do to put in place? Those are some of the parenting skills that we are supposed to have, honestly, to really know kuti save and how should we help our kids when it comes to building their career. These career talks should start from grade 7, form 1. Let's drill it in them so that we identify their talent when there is time, and we don't need to be running around after vanwatonyora ma O levels. Now we are worrying kuti mwana ari kuitei. And on that note, I also want to encourage parents vana pavanenge vachipika A level, there is no need to do 7 subjects on A level. Yes, kudhara zvaiva nemukurumbira zvainatsokufaya kunzi ane 20 points, ane 25 points, ane 36 points. University needs 2 A-level passes and 1 extra subject when they are looking for people either doing medicine, engineering, whatever program, law, business studies, developmental studies. Universities ask for 2 A-level passes. Instead of your child, instead of your child focusing on 6 combinations, if they are going to take an extra subject, that's okay. If they can take 4, that's okay. But there's no need to stress mana and they do 6 subjects or 8 subjects at A level. There is no need. Let them do 2 are crucial, 1 nerimwe kana vazonyanyonetsesesa vari shangu yeticha idzo woita 4. But zvekuita ma 6 and 7, to me it really doesn't make sense, because either way when you go to uni you will see with specialization yacho inenge yatonyanyisa. I did agriculture at A level. We did all the aspects of agriculture, economics, engineering, crop science, animal science, and those 4 domains. When we get to A level, there is a degree for crop scientist, there is a degree for agriculture engineering, there is a degree for agri-economics, there is a degree for animal science. Even if I did agriculture with all those 4 concepts, I still have to choose one. So my point is, be very careful on giving kids load yekunze animbiri yekuita 7 subjects or 8 subjects per A level. Let them choose 3 that will narrow down and shape their profession. So yeah, thank you so much for watching my video, and thank you so much for engaging with me on this platform. I'm really enjoying it. I hope also you guys are enjoying it. I just want to say, don't forget to subscribe, share it with your loved ones, share it with people who really need to, have these conversations sparked in their households, and we help the next generation to make the right choices. So yeah, bye guys. Thank you.